Move over, Swanson. I'm driving.
Wow!
Hey, Smails! My dinghy's bigger than your whole boat!
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute, the podcast in which we celebrate and observe and watch and talk about the film Caddyshack 1 minute at a time. I am Tom Taylor, and I am joined today, as always, by Mike DeMaria.
Celebrating.
We're celebrating. It's not just watching and talking, it's celebrating. And we're also joined by Dan Lewis.
You got it.
We all got it.
You betcha.
And we're here to talk about minute 26 today. And minute 26 begins with everyone cheering over Al Czervik sinking his putt.
Ooh. Boom! This is a boom.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And
Yeah,
it ends with Judge Smails' party approaching the snack bar. That's what we got.
Let's reiterate, just because we only did it 1 minute, that, again, we had it wrong. Mike had it right. Gatsby is the guy who's the bald guy who's having the martini all the time. And Drew Scott is the tall guy with the mustache, the blue shirt. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So I also feel like while you're doing that, I got to go back and say Drew Scott had my favorite dance in the Journey scene. He was the one dancing with Joey, and he's kind of doing he's doing like a sort of like weird sort of like sidestep thing, and then they're doing like the Rockette sort of thing, and he's having a blast. And he's my new favorite. Drew Scott, who should have been my favorite the whole time, is now my favorite finally. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, I've gone off many times on this show about having this beautiful palatial golf course.
You don't have that here.
I do not have that here at all. We got this skanky, weird, I don't know, apartment building or something, like right on the edge
Terrible.
of the golf course. And I want to say that even, okay, like later in this minute, we see, the construction site and stuff, and Czervik's got a big billboard and stuff. So, okay, maybe they want to show that. But even if there's construction going on just outside the country club is not going to leave it bare and open like that. And so you can see all the hubbub and ruffians and stuff.
No.
There should be like trees there or something, or a beautiful fence or something to
No. See, Dan and I grew up near Oakland Hills Country Club, which is like one of the nicest courses in the country, I think, right, Dan?
Yeah, they
They would have the U.S. Open there once every so often.
Right, one of the
You
toughest
drive,
courses.
yeah, it's right off of a main street. You have to drive into it, but you can't see the course from the street.
right.
Because there's all the plumage. Isn't the plumage beautiful? That's from Clockwork Orange. But go ahead. There's no way you can see. You can't see the course from the
Right.
and you can't. And when you're on the course, you can't see you can't even hear the cars, even though
That's
they're
how
right
it should be.
Yeah.
I actually pass on my way to work every day. I pass 2 golf courses, and only one of which I can see. Like one is like a public course, and there's like a big fence, and you can see into it, and you laugh at the poor.
It's got
peons
chicken
who-
wire on it.
Yeah, exactly. But then the other one, you see a big long driveway and maybe a hint of a building back there, maybe some rolling green somewhere, but you really can't see because it's tucked away. It's a country club.
Yeah. I think Tom's annoyance at this sort of thing is a little crazy, I think. A little over the top. Tom really doesn't want to see any working people or any signs of a working world.
No, I think to Tom's defense, I think Judge Smails doesn't want to see the working people, so it doesn't fit that this is his golf course.
Yeah.
Right. This doesn't
yeah.
with what I know of Bushwood, of Smails, of the clientele. They wouldn't go for this, I would imagine.
Right.
Oh, okay, well, that's why you're upset. But I was going to add, this is a place where the Rolls Royce is coming in. There's horses. People are riding horses around there. You're not going to have the crane and then the truck which holds the crane and
Right.
all the stuff. Yeah.
Or even just that building. That building's been there for a while, it looks like, but it looks gross.
It's
it
a
looks
brutal.
sad
You're talking
and
about the
gross.
beige building with the sort of.
Yeah.
It's a very ugly
Bishop
building.
Pickering and Danny are walking right past it.
It's like a late '60s style building, and it's got a dentist office in there and also a space for lease that no one wants yet.
Yeah.
It's right next to a gas and sip.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It's gross.
Also, by
gross.
the way, this is Florida. I mean, you can just tell right away. Like, this is shot in an entirely different state. And Mike, maybe you can back me up on this. If you look at the clouds, the trees, the type of trees, everything about this scene. This is one of the scenes shot in Florida. No question in my mind.
Probably, yeah. I have to go back.
The way that the type of palm tree, like right away, brings me back to the one semester I spent there with Mike with his 38 eyelet Doc Martens that he was wearing in his long hair.
Yes.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
Yep. Make
Wow.
fun of my shoes.
No, and I thought they were cool shoes at the time. But
It was grunge.
that was a grungy time.
But it also, if you look at the building, going back to what Dan's saying, that apartment building kind of looks like that stucco. It's like that kind of buildings that they have in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, and to me, the trees, I feel like, do it too. It's very Florida. The big cumulus clouds, like the way that they would roll in every day and it would rain for like 10 minutes before it evaporated.
Sounds nice.
Well, it's,
No, it wasn't.
there's
nothing nice.
sinkholes, Tom. They got sinkholes there.
The clouds sound pretty.
Those are the grunge days for
I
Mike.
guess so.
By the way, these grunge, and it's weird to think about. The people think about that, and these like, there's all these young people that just weren't either weren't born yet, or they're grunge is like this like old thing that it's this old past genre. It's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
And on top of the fact that they just did the nominations for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which, by the way, it's not that I could give a single shit about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't care about it at all. But it's interesting to see that a band like Pearl Jam being nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
James Addiction.
Yeah.
Bad Brains.
Bad Brains, I get, I guess. I get Bad Brains. But, I mean, Pearl Jam, you got to be kidding me right now.
Yeah, that's where I remember. I mean, from the mass populace point of view, like the beginning of grunge was Nirvana and Smells Like Teen Spirit. Like that's when it hit the big the regular. What am I trying to say?
Yeah, Mike and I liked it, cooler stuff before that, but go on.
Of course, yeah. Well, that's like my roommate, like in '90 and '91 and stuff in college, was listening to all. He was listening to like all the Sub Pop stuff and everything. So I knew about Nirvana through him. Right before they broke in the big time and stuff. So like there's that dividing line. Like one summer it was like you're avoiding like Whitesnake and Poison and everything.
Yeah.
And then
Here I go
Nirvana
again.
rides in on a white horse and slays everybody. And
But right underneath Nirvana were bands like Mudhoney bubbling under the surface.
Yeah,
All these great sub pop bands, and
I like Mudhoney. I still like Mudhoney. Yeah. But I mean, I feel about Pearl Jam the way that Mike feels about Phil Collins.
I
just
no.
can't stand. I mean, I don't. And I know there's a bunch of people listening right now that's like, "Oh, I like Pearl Jam." Well,
I don't
sorry,
like
you're wrong.
But when they came out in 1990, when it was like 1991, 1992, it was pretty intense.
It was garbage. That's what it was.
Okay, we'll let it go. Let it go.
I didn't like them, and I'm somebody who I can't like something while it's popular. I have to wait a few years, not to be cool about it. Just like, okay, I need it to not be shoved in my face constantly, and I need to just like it on my own terms if that happens. So there's probably, they have that one song that I like a lot. What is it? You know the one?
No,
you don't. It's called it's called something. They all name their songs like illogically, so like they don't say the word in the song, but that's the title of the song. Right. It's like Crawl or something maybe, or like I don't fucking know. I'm talking about Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
I know nothing about what they've done in the last 10 years, but I enjoyed them at the beginning.
Well,
anyway.
I always imagine Tom just liking like having those. Never wearing the jeans and stuff. I imagine him being like his main song is the one that like really reaches Steve Martin in The Jerk when he's laying there. And he's sort of like realizing he's white. He's living with and he's just that song that comes on the radio that gets him snapping. I feel like I feel like when I picture Tom, that's the song that's playing in the background the whole time during the day.
That's close. Yeah, like Benny Goodman or something.
It's Benny Goodman's put some hot stuff, man. That's a guy tooting a horn right there. That's a different story.
Oh yeah, we got Danny making his second attempt as far as I can tell, to get in with somebody.
You
who
guys
might
know I have a
some-
Pearl Jam tattoo, right?
What?
No,
You know I have a Pearl Jam tattoo, don't you?
you don't have a Pearl Jam.
You guys are both just fucking with me, trying to make me feel like shit because I liked them when I was
I do
18
not know.
years old.
You don't have a Pearl Jam tattoo.
Of course I do. On my shoulder, I have the stick. I have the stick figure from 10, from their first album.
Oh boy.
Well, that's, listen, we make mistakes. I've got a shitty tattoo on my shoulder too that makes no sense. It looks dumb, and now it's all faded like your uncle's friends who'd come over and he's the biker and he's got the faded weird tattoo and you can't tell what it was. That's what I have right now on my back, so just don't even worry about it.
I have a Celtic knot on my leg, and I'm Italian. I have it just above my ankle. I got that down in that shitty state of Florida too.
Oh man, who was in that? I'm not doing anything with a needle in Florida.
No,
anywhere.
You know that story. This is the year before you came down to St. Leo.
Yeah.
Dan and I spent my first year in St. Leo. You were there.
Yeah.
We were at the same college he was there for a half a year. Mm-hmm. When you left, there was one of these hippies from Connecticut. He was from Connecticut, actually. He was a hippie from Connecticut, and he was saying, one of my buddies, the tattoo artist, he's coming down this weekend for spring break. He's gonna bring his equipment down. He'll do tattoos for like $20.
Oh my God!
So he comes
a traveling tattoo. And he had like a suitcase with all of his stuff in it.
Yeah.
And also he'll sell you a tincture.
Yeah, it was like a carny. So he comes down for and the house that he's staying at was the quote unquote drug house. Oh. So I go there on a Saturday morning thinking, okay, I'll get it right away. I didn't know what I wanted. So I'm just looking, and the guy's there. He's like, I'm not ready to tattoo yet. I'm not ready. I'm not in the mood. So they put on the fucking Allman Brothers. And they start.
I think you could take the quotes off the drug house.
Yeah. They start smoking. They start drinking. And I start drinking. And then it's kind of like the sun comes up and the sun goes down. It's like 9:00 at night now. They had moved to cocaine at this point.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
And I'm sitting there in the living room just drinking vodka, just sitting there staring off. And this one girl sitting next to me was also getting a tattoo, and she was, she got around, and she wanted the Chanel tattoo and the tramp stamp on her back. And I said, I'm going before her. I'm not using the same. I'm not using the needle after her. So it's 9:00 at night. The guy finally comes out. He's got white powder on his nose, and he goes, I'm ready. He goes, what do you want? I said, actually, I don't know. I've been sitting here all day and I have no idea. So he opens up a book and there was like 5 or 6 things, and one of them was like a Celtic. And I said, that one.
One.
I got that one right there. I go, as long as it's round, I want it round on above my ankle. I go, that's cool. They
should have gotten a bowling ball, something like that.
Yeah, just put a moon. Just tattoo the moon on my leg. No, I go. So they bring me in the kitchen and they lay me on some egg crates in the kitchen, some milk crates.
Oh my God!
And the guy I go, show me the. He opened up as a brand new needle. I said, okay, go. And the guy just dug into my leg and just. Ew. It was a horrifying experience, bleeding all over the place. I was drunk, and that's it. That's Florida.
Oh my gosh! I don't know how you could. You're on egg crate, getting an under the table tattoo in Florida.
It cost me $25.
$25 and all I got was an entire alphabet of hepatitises.
Yeah, that's your original leg. You didn't have to have that replaced or anything.
Yeah, that was my one get out of the jail free card. So I've been on the straight and narrow since then.
Well, I feel like the Jeep was another one, but we could talk about that.
Why would you say the Jeep? Why would you say that?
It occurred to me.
We're going to hear that Jeep story one of these days. I know it.
No, you're not. You're never going to hear that story on here.
The way you're acting.
Hey, by the way, yeah. So, Mike, I'm going to get you off the hook here by telling you about when I got my tattoo in Pontiac, Michigan. My friend knew. He says, I'm 17 at the time, and my friend says, I know a place that'll give us tattoos. They won't ask for ID.
Probably out by Ducky's Bar and Grill on Telegraph.
We drove out to some shitty spot. I don't even remember where it is, but it was in Pontiac, Michigan, which is sort of far outskirts of the suburbs of Michigan, or sorry, of Detroit, and it's kind of its own little. It's like a bigger city, and it's got and it just had a kind of rundown quality to it. I think there had been some they lost manufacturing jobs before it was cool.
It was literally right on the edge of like Bloomfield Hills, the real nice areas.
Yeah.
But it had a very like Flint, Michigan feel.
Yeah, and once
it was very blue collar, but very like industrial, very hardworking, like pipe fitters and everything. But it
was like Flint without the glitz and glamour you get with Michael Moore making movies about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Once in a while, you go to a show over there at Clutch Cargo's.
Yeah, all you had was a Silverdome. Lions.
Yeah, Pontiac Silverdome, right? There you go. People know about the Silverdome. They also had, I believe, WrestleMania 3.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the Pontiac Silverdome with the Iron Sheik? And Nikolai Volkov? Yeah. But but anyway, I went out there and I did the same thing, Mike. We got to the point where finally I was so scared about, are they going to do it? Are they going to ask for ID? I've got my cash here. And then finally it's like, what do you want? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. The important part was to have a tattoo, which again, I have to say, back then, now having a tattoo is basically like de rigueur. It's like everybody has a tattoo. But back then, to have a tattoo was genuinely like you were a little bit on the fringe there. Yeah. And I wanted to be cool. And I thought definitely if I showed if girls saw that I had a tattoo in college, that it might get me some cred.
And everybody knew that you were going. So like when I was sitting there in the house, I'm like, I'm here all day. Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about what I'm going to get because it doesn't matter. Just put something on my body so I can go back and say, here, I got it.
Mm-hmm. They've seen it 100 times. They said, I bet she gets the Celtic knot. Everybody chooses the Celtic knot. He's not going to get the Road Runner or the Notre Dame Fighting Irish guy.
Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, Yosemite Sam. It says back off. Like on the mud flaps on those trucks.
He's a Celtic knot sort of guy.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, now I look like an idiot. People go, "Oh, I didn't know you had a tattoo." Go swimming. People that know, I didn't know you had a tattoo, and I'm like, yeah, I forget for years at a time. I forget that I have it.
And people will say to me on my shoulder, they'll say, "What is that?" And I'll say, "Don't worry about it."
Right. Exactly. What's the significance of that? Yeah, absolutely nothing. Yeah. Right. It's like a scarlet letter for you at this point.
Yeah.
You're marked.
So back
no
off.
Tattoos, Tom. No tattoos. Not why don't you get that that like amulet thing tattooed on your palm, like the guy in the Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Amulet thing.
Whatever the hell that stupid thing is.
It's got a specific name. And Tom knows it.
And not everybody knows that.
I do have Mr. Spock on my asshole, but that's it.
Oh, that's good.
No, you know what? I had an idea that I thought was super cool that I think like a year later just became like a thing. But I thought it'd be cool to like get like a barcode like on my arm or something, or the back of my neck or something.
Cyborg.
Yeah, but I've seen the barcode. Oh, that's the thing.
Social security number or something.
You see the barcode sometimes on, there'll be a barista or someone who's about 28. It's got the barcode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then they escaped from the cloning facility.
Mm-hmm. Now, so we brought up religion and Roman Catholic in the previous minute. So now we have this scene here where Bishop bickering, and we see Danny being a little bit of a brown noser. I'm trying to pull us back to the minute here.
Bit.
Yeah, sorry guys.
That was graceful.
No, that's good, but we need to. But there's some good stuff here that we need to talk about.
No, there is. That's true. And Dan has to go to bed or something, so we have to hurry.
So what is this? So it's kind of like a joke about, and it's like the blazing saddles, where we don't want the Irish. Remember that joke?
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
I think it is here. It's like, oh, you're Roman Catholic. Oh, you can't come.
No, I just think he thinks that the guy is one religion, but he's a different one, and I guess it must be like Episcopal or so. What's the one that's kind of Catholic? Lutheran.
I think he says Lutheran at the Lutheran Center or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I think it's his youth center. I don't even know if he says what he is.
He's a Lutheran.
I know he's a bishop, but I don't know if he says what denominationalism he is.
Oh,
I always thought that it was more like just Danny just flat out picked the wrong religion. Like he said, "Oh, are you Roman Catholic?" And he's like, like he doesn't even say yes. He's kind of like, kind of like nods or something. And so the joke is just that he picked wrong. And
But
he could have said, "Oh yeah, I'm Presbyterian" or something, and he would have.
But he is
been
a
fine.
bishop. Who has bishops? Because he is a bishop, and he does have the clerical collar on earlier when he goes, "That's a doozy, Judge."
Yeah,
So it's Episcopal.
I don't even know what
He's
that means.
Episcopal. But he does say, he goes, "Oh, then you can't come." He does
Right.
say that. He says you can't.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about coming, and he goes, "Well, you can't come."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because he's Roman Catholic.
I do see that priests also exist in Lutheran churches and Episcopalians. So
Yeah.
he could be an Episcopalian, although he strikes me. I think Episcopalians are a little bit more liberal, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's Lutheran. I think we could narrow it down to that maybe.
But Mike, you're thinking that it's slam against Roman Catholics, or you're thinking that
No, Bishop Pickering
he's
is
just
not
being
Roman
strict?
Catholic.
It's like a no. It's a
No,
slam.
no.
He's slamming.
What?
Yeah. What Tom's asking
He's
is if he's
slamming the
slamming
Catholics,
Catholics,
yeah.
because it's like we know the Catholics are the Irish who have the 20 kids at home, as we saw in the beginning, and he's
Yeah.
like a more of a waspy type who's at the golf club. So it's like there's that kind of cultural divide there.
Yeah. But wait, did somebody just say that Bishop Pickering is Roman Catholic?
No, I
Okay,
thought
good.
that's what you're saying. No,
We're gonna
he's
have a fight.
slamming.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's slamming Roman Catholics.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want Danny, who's a Roman Catholic, supposedly.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
And then Lacey has to come in and get her line in.
Go for it.
Nice try. Go for it. Yeah, so go for
Is
it.
she overdubbed there? It might be.
It might
Not
be.
sure.
Everybody's walking, making pocket change sounds.
Then here comes
as they
Motormouth.
walk. You know what? I gotta say, I don't hate Motormouth as much. I hate that his name is Motormouth. I can't stand calling him Motormouth. But I don't hate him that much in this scene. I think his delivery of, I've always thought of becoming a golf club. I think that's not as annoying as he almost always is.
Right.
And now, when I watched this as a kid, he would say that, and I would say, he's just being like an idiot. Like, I thought that's actually what Motormouth was thinking, like contemplating being a golf club, but he's making fun of Danny. And I didn't pick up on that as a kid. I go, why does this guy want to be a golf club? Why is he contemplating being a golf club?
Yeah.
I love that
Annoyed
stuff.
me. It's like stupid. And then they said, oh, he's making fun of. I often thought about becoming a priest.
Yeah,
He's not dumb. He's just a jerk.
Yeah, you don't get irony when you're super young. You always think, that guy wants to be a golf club? That's funny. People can't be golf clubs.
You
He's
don't
goofy.
get irony when you're stuck home alone after school eating steakums.
You're right. You're sitting there
Or
going,
do
listen,
you?
I want to figure this out before that national anthem starts playing, and I got to go to bed.
Really,
But I
I'm
don't
on
have the
clock.
nutrients because these steakums aren't giving me the proper
Steak
vitamins.
comes on, I need Wing Hong was closed.
I don't have enough. Yeah.
Tom, I've got a solution for you. I don't think you should call him Motormouth anymore. You could just call
Okay.
him Hamilton Mitchell. The
Okay,
actor
well,
who
but
plays
then I
him.
feel bad. Then I feel bad that I'm slamming the actor who's a real person walking the earth.
Well, you're not slamming him. You said you liked Motormouth just fine. You didn't like saying his name.
No. That's not what I hate. Motormouth. I hate Motormouth's guts. I
Oh.
don't like him in this movie. In this scene, I think he's
Oh, in
less
this
annoying than he
scene.
normally is. But I also, as an aside, I hate that his name is Motormouth.
Yeah, it's his name that
Yeah.
he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, yeah.
either we come up with another name for him or just deal.
Well, I don't know.
probably
Hamilton Mitchell's got to live with that. I'm sure he's come to grips with it. He's had a long and illustrious
guess so.
career at this point. He's still a working actor.
It's true. He's
He's
gotten
in
past
Parks
it.
and Recreation recently.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. I gotta look
No,
that
you're
up.
not wrong.
As Tom always
No.
says, you're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm
I
learning a lot
hate you,
about
Tom.
myself on
I
this
hate
show.
you. Well, you're not wrong.
Is it wrong for me to say that I hate the name Motormouth?
Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys know me so well.
Yeah.
Then we're walking up to the snack bar, and this is another one of the beginning of one of the most quotable lines of the movie too.
Yeah.
And
We
we
get
get-
we get a glimpse of the snack bar,
Mm-hmm.
and we see
Oh,
some of
before
the
we get there,
prices.
can we talk
Very
about-
interesting.
Wait,
Go
Tom's
ahead,
got
Tom.
something.
Go ahead, Tom.
Well, this
yeah.
is the very end of the minute, so I want to make sure we get to like Al and his.
Oh, that's
party.
right. Oh,
I
yeah.
want to say that like this is actually impressive. Like a minute ago, at the beginning of this minute, we were complaining about Danny and the bishop walking past that ugly building and everything, but that's actually a nice bit of continuity because now Al and his party, who are behind the Smails party, are now at that same spot. There's like a progression going on here. Like, I don't know if they're strictly trying to pay attention to that, but you see that same building there
That is very
behind them
interesting.
next to like the whole construction site and stuff. So it is like, there's some cause and effect going. There's a sequence of things going on here, and it's
Tom, I must say I did not notice that, and in fact, I thought that they were in different states shooting these scenes. 'Cause that looks like California to me, but you can see the red fence. Everything is all the same. I think it's just a different time of day, because when they were shooting this scene with the bishop, it's overcast and kind of a bit weird. That look that Florida gets right before it's about to rain, and then the scene with Al just after that, it looks like Florida later on in the day after all the water is evaporated.
So you got Czervik's
There you
billboard there, and it says Czervik's condominiums, and it says playground for your kiddies.
Yeah. It's
bingo
really,
for adults.
bingo for adults, playground for your kiddies.
Tennis and racquetball, parking galore, all at Czervik's. A dazzling way to live.
Where do you live? I live at Czervik's.
That's dazzling.
You know what's funny is like when they say galore, usually galore is kind of like something that you use galore for something that's like you're indulging in one way or another. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't use it for something so utilitarian as parking. You know,
Well, it's luxurious parking. You pull up, you're like, well, this is luxurious.
Doors galore.
parking galore. You're just gonna want to park and not even get out of the car. The parking is so nice.
You don't even want to park. You just want to be able to know that you can park
Right.
because there's parking galore. It's never going to be an issue.
I was in Tucson one time. Another thing, I don't like Arizona, but I don't. That is not neither here nor there. But I was in Tucson one time, and it was to see some spring training games, and see some Cactus League action. And they had like a parking mall, or rather, there was a shopping mall. It was one of those like outdoor malls, and like a lot of stuff in that part of the country. There's like you had like a really nice restaurant. I was going to a nice steak place, but it was like part of like a mall-ish type thing, like some upscale mall or something, you know. And then you had to pay for parking. There's like this parking garage, and there's no parking. People are circling around, and you got to pay for parking. 50 yards away was just blank desert. Like no, there's no, there was no. It was like being on the moon and being like, "Here's where you park." It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, it's like being the outskirts of Vegas, and it's nothing but just desert land.
Yeah. Only problem is, where am I going to park?
You can park there, or you can park here, but you got to pay to park here.
Leave your car in the middle of the desert like it was Breaking Bad or something.
And just to go back, when Dan was talking about going to Arizona for spring training games, Tom, spring training is what in the major leagues they have a time where they go to where it's warm, and they play spring ball. You see what I'm saying?
They learn how to play baseball.
They loosen up and they play each other, and it's they call it the Grapefruit League or the Cactus League or the.
That's cute.
You see what I'm saying? It's sports.
That is really sweet. I like that.
And they did it back in Babe Ruth's day, only they'd go to Hot Springs, Arkansas back in those days.
Yeah.
And just Babe Ruth would spend a couple weeks drying out.
In a sanatorium.
Right.
All right. So Czervik's.
So Czervik's. I meant to actually look this up and do some hard-hitting research. This is 1980. Like around this time, wasn't the idea of condominiums, if not new, then at least like kind of growing or something? Like people didn't talk about condominiums like before, I don't know, the late 70s or something, did they? It seems like it was like sounded like a kind of like a newish thing.
I think they spoke about condominiums as like summer homes. Like you would get a condominium down in Florida.
Yeah, I heard about there was like, we have a condo down in such and such, not like as your main.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So this might be like some summer home condominiums.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting. Tennis and racquetball.
And playgrounds for the kiddies.
Now, Al goes off here about how the biggest wastes of real estate are graveyards.
The biggest wastes.
biggest wastes of real estate.
That's more than one waste.
Yeah, plural.
Is it possibly saying wasters? The biggest wasters of real estate?
Oh, so he's doing it with the New York accent. I never noticed that, but that seems obvious now that that's what it was.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Graveyards and golf courses.
Biggest wasters. That's true, because if you said it with wasters, you would get
biggest wasters of real estate.
Yeah. Sorry.
But he goes off on golf courses or or country clubs and golf courses, but he plays golf. So why is he annoyed? I'm surprised that he's considering golf courses a waste of space since he himself is a golfer.
Get over it, Tom.
I don't see this as a problem, Tom.
I don't either.
Maybe he's as a construction guy, should make a golf course over a graveyard, and then that would take care of like half his
Did you
problem.
write that in your notes, Tom?
I didn't. I swear to you, I didn't write that.
You
That's
put
an
that in your
original
column
idea
C,
off the cuff.
extra
I'm trying to
content?
riff like you, Mike. I'm trying to riff.
We'll never
you-
know for sure because Tom's going to burn the notes, but I bet you wrote it down.
I bet he did. I take more of a
I
Zen
did. Okay,
attitude
no.
to this.
Listen, I wrote down that I think it's weird that he hates golf courses. Does he say
Not
golf
weird.
courses or does he say country clubs?
He doesn't say he hates them. He just says that they're a waste of
They're a
real
waste.
estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as a builder, as a construction guy, as a developer, that would bother him. He's talking about things that bothers him, that there are all these cemeteries and golf courses.
Yeah.
But it's weird that he
Tom,
he golfs.
you have to do business still, though. He's obviously on a business thing with Wang. He's schmoozing with Wang.
Yeah.
Right. And I
But would he
again,
wanna
I don't
get-
mean
would he-
that euphemistically either. I mean,
disgusting.
he's schmoozing with Wang.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
bought
but
they
okay.
bought property on the good side.
Yeah. The Great Wall on the good side.
Now, see, that's a joke I don't need explained. That's a joke that I just think is funny. Like,
Right.
the good side, like there's the wrong side of the tracks or something, or like, the good side of town or whatever.
But I feel like you coming along there, Tom, because normally that's the type of thing that you would go. Now, wait a minute, is there a good side to the Great
Yeah.
Wall, or I'm what is that? What's the story there? Do you think?
Is it like
And
the
then Tom goes,
Sneetches
"I don't
where
know,
everybody
Tom."
thinks that their side is better, or is it actually a good side or a bad side?
Yep,
But
the
no, I
police
mean,
are
like, is
back.
Al saying that he would want to like take over a golf course and build
Yeah,
on
the
it?
Police are at the door.
Is that your door?
What?
No, outside. We had a domestic situation here last night, like 2 in the morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really? Oh no!
yeah.
They come
And the
back to get
police
a
were-
report.
Yeah, probably to get a report. Oh, they're trying to get in. Huh. If I have to leave abruptly.
Oh, you don't get in the code.
Oh,
I'm
you don't
back.
get to finish your podcast.
Oh my gosh, Mike.
It's not me.
That's exciting.
I didn't cause the ruckus.
Right.
Yeah, sure. All right, fine. Okay, fine.
Okay, fine.
Oh yeah, and they're all watching TV on the
The little 4-inch.
in the bag.
Yeah, the little television, I'd love to know what they're watching, but that would be basically impossible to figure out.
Well, it's
I was going to say
Cowboys
it's a
and
little
Indians.
It's a western.
but it's a little disappointing that it's not something recognizable. Like they're not watching like Gone with the Wind or
Yeah, I'll never
Rockford
go hungry
Files or
again.
Right,
You'd know what it was, right?
or
There's
like
no
Dukes
place
of
like
Hazzard
home.
or something.
Yeah, they just camped out on the 9th hole to watch a 3.5-hour movie.
Yeah,
Right.
right. A sweeping Civil War epic.
Yeah, let's just quickly watch Gone with the Wind. Just real quick.
And they break out
It's Wang's
sandwiches.
favorite movie.
Yeah. Wang is just having a ball. I mean, this is like his
Yeah.
he's having a great time.
It's the
Is
greatest.
this his
He's been-
first time in the States, do you think? What are they eating? They're eating sandwiches.
Yeah, then some sandwiches. Yeah, which probably Al's got a sandwich maker in the bag there somewhere. He's got he's got a George Foreman grill, or else it's like Flintstones. He's got an animal in there. It's like making sandwiches.
It's got a
It's a
little man.
living.
Oh, my aching beak.
Oh, my aching peak.
But this is interesting. It's curious that Al's party would have sandwiches that they brought with them that seemed sort of frugal and sensible, and then you got Smails' party heading to the snack bar to spend money on stuff they don't need.
It's a great segue to the end of the minute there.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to do was get us to the end of the minute.
Yeah, you did it.
And not only do we get one of the best lines in the movie cut off, which is aggravating. All we hear is that Spaulding wants a hamburger, and that's
You're
it.
not allowed to get aggravated at something like that. You're the one who cut the movie up into 1-minute chunks.
Yeah, I told the computer to do it. It did it with math and stuff.
it.
Well, you saw 2001. Computers always take over and do what they want.
They do.
Yeah.
Why I'm using one right now. Would you shut up?
Hello,
it's gonna
Dave.
hear you. and
It
rebel.
can hear you. Yeah, great.
It's also infuriating because we get Maggie We see Maggie, but we don't get to do anything with her. There's
Great
nothing,
establishing shot there, by the way, as they walk. A good shot as they walk up toward the concession stand. You start with an over the shoulder shot of Maggie, sort of suggesting that she's going to be important, but then the camera moves past it and zooms past her so that she's no longer in the frame. Centering on the conversation that Spalding is going to be having about. He says he wants a hamburger. We don't know what else he wants yet, but it might be some other stuff.
A hamburger.
I would say, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think he's going to be full. All he wants is a hamburger.
Yeah.
I think that's all he's going to want.
Yeah.
Maybe a soda as well. I want a hamburger and I want a soda. And that's it.
I
think
really
that's what
wish
he's
that
going to
on the sign here.
And I think the judge is going to get it for him. He's not going to get him nothing.
No, he's a reasonable guy.
Yeah, he's not going to get him nothing.
His grandson.
He's not going to get him nothing, and he's not going to like it.
Yeah.
No one's going to like anything.
I think he's going to get a hamburger and nothing else, and he's not going to get nothing, and he's going to not like it.
And that's all Maggie needs.
Can we talk about the prices? Or should we talk about
I
that?
love the prices. The prices are fantastic.
Yeah.
I was begging. I would really wish that we had just seen. I just want to know what a Coke costs. I want to know what a can of Coke
that's
costs.
right. Yeah, that would be very, very good.
But the closest we get is shakes for 90 cents, which is only 40 cents more than a bottle of Coke out of Lou's office.
Yeah, but I mean, what is the proportion? So let's go proportionally. What does a shake cost now?
That'd be like at least
to a
$3.
Coke? Like, what if you go to In-N-Out Burger or something? You guys don't have an In-N-Out Burger out there, do you?
No, we got
well, you could say like a Culver's.
Yeah, Culver's, right? One of those places. What does a shake cost these days?
Probably under $2.
I frankly don't know.
It'd be under $2.
Like a small might be like under $2.
Okay, so
they're about $2.50.
They're not on the order of 50% more or 100% more than a Coke. Interesting.
Well, I don't know how much is a glass bottle of Coke.
80 cents. $1 in the machine.
Today?
At least $1, yeah.
And 2,000, whatever we want to say this.
It's 2,000 a dollar right now.
You go to the soda machine, it's like $1.
I guess okay, but that's a can though. That's a 12-ounce can.
Well, those bottles that they had, those are 12-ounce bottles.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I am.
Well, ever since President was elected this past November, I think that things are definitely going to change for the. But so hamburgers $1.50. A cheeseburger is $1.75, which you can infer that a piece of cheese is 25 cents by that. A hot dog is 75 cents. Chili 90 cents. Soup 65 cents for a bowl of soup. Potato chips are 40 cents, and a shake is 90 cents.
You know what you should do is you should get a hat at the pro shop, and then you get a free bowl of soup.
Oh, that's true, right? That's a 65-cent value.
There's nothing wrong with that joke. That joke was completely self-contained, self-packaged, and delivered.
What, mine?
There's something wrong. There's something wrong with the joke now because Tom picked it apart.
Because I keep talking about it.
Right. It's like some brand new piece of equipment, some lovely piece of electronics that Tom immediately says, "How does this work?" Takes it apart and so that it can't work anymore, so they can figure out how it works.
It was because of that I found out that remote control was actually a Casio calculator, which blew this whole movie wide open.
That was still researchable. I feel like
potato chips 40 cents.
That's a little.
That seems a little. Is that like a bag of chips?
Yeah, that's almost as
compared
much
to
as
a shake.
It's
that's weird to me.
It's weird. It's like things have gone up in price, but in disproportionate ways. Maybe
it feels like these numbers mean nothing to me.
This suggests I should have gotten soup futures a long time ago.
Or cheese slice futures.
The minister of soup.
As we do the crop report.
Yeah.
It has rained a lot, so soup is plentiful.
Everybody shut up. Here comes the minister of soup.
The minister of soup is here to
make his announcement.
We now interrupt this episode of Falcon Crest for the lunch report. The quarterly lunch report. Quarterly lunch report.
Part of that part of Trading Places always struck me as like, why is the world stopping for the minister, the agriculture minister, crop report?
Yeah, frozen concentrated orange juice, honey. Turn off the show. Turn the channel. We got the frozen concentrated orange juice. Sweetheart, how many times do I have to tell you? We're invested in fresh orange juice, fresh squeezed orange juice. Why'd you do that?
Mr. Beeks.
Yeah.
Mr. Beaks.
What's his first name? Mr. Beaks.
Clarence.
Clarence Beaks. That's right. Yeah, and he's also the principal from Breakfast Club, of course.
Yeah.
I got you for 2 months. Your ass is mine. Or is that what he says?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm thinking of another movie right now. Your ass is mine. Oh no! Now it's now I'm thinking about
Ferris
Bueller, right? What's his
Rudy.
name? Right.
Rudy.
Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, who went down?
Yes.
Went down on child porn.
Did Jeffrey Jones? I think I heard about that.
Yeah.
But what happened with that?
Did. No, he got convicted. I don't know if he actually went to jail or anything, but I know. Yeah.
I thought it was. I think it was like he had to register as a.
Go look at his. Yeah, I think he was, and he is got one of the scariest.
I love Jeffrey Jones.
But he's got one of the scariest mugshots too. Go look at his mugshot.
Oh man, those mugshots are
really?
nuts.
Is he going to run a bike shop in heaven when he goes?
Yeah, why does Gordon Jump have to run the bike shop?
Jeffrey Jones is going to get a radio station in Cincinnati, isn't he?
And that'll be the burning thing because he's going to want the job as the bike shop guy and not get it, and Gordon Jump is going to want the other thing. So that's what hell is. Hell is just like a regular Earth, except for you're at the wrong job.
Just a fucking O. Henry story, God damn it.
Yeah, hell is one big O. Henry story. You gotta sell my watch fob. Oh,
Yeah.
Love Jeffrey Jones and Beetlejuice. I loved him in Amadeus.
Yes.
So great. That
look at
sucks.
that.
He did.
Yeah, go look at that mugshot. You won't love him anymore.
I don't think I want to see it. Hey, you ever see Nick Nolte's mugshot?
Yeah.
I think I have.
It's awesome.
Looks like Nick Nolte.
Yeah, it looks like Nick Nolte, Nick Nolte was electrocuted only seconds before
You know
that.
what it looks like Nick Nolte went as Gary Busey for Halloween.
Oh my God! What does a Gary Busey mugshot look like then?
Oh boy,
Gary Busey just looks like a Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, just looks like Ghost Rider.
He's just off the charts.
You see Jeffrey Jones, and it's like you look at his mugshot, and you say, "Yeah, he's guilty."
Oh my God!
Right, exactly. That's what they should do with the mugshot. They should just look at people, say, "Oh my God, look at that guy."
Let's not bother with the democratic process.
He needs to register.
Yeah, skip to the end.
Right. Just show me the mugshot and tell me how many drinks he had at the airport bar.
Yeah, before
I'll tell you whether he's guilty or not.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's too bad to hear. Because I remember when he got picked up for that. And part of me thought like, oh no, because they all give that same defense where they say like they were doing research or something.
Yeah.
No, that was what's his name?
Pete Townsend.
Pete Townsend, right? Yeah. Except for I don't know how that turned out. I don't know. I can't say. Jeffrey Jones, I looked up, and that's legit.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It's mugshot.
He was arrested twice since then. Looks like for or he got in trouble a couple times for not updating. You're supposed to update your sex offender status, which I take it to mean you go down to the precinct and check the box where it says, "Are you still a sex offender?"
Yes.
And then you just have to mark yes. I don't know what you need to update it for. I don't know what the updating is all about. But apparently you have to do that.
I think there's an eye test and like a written thing. That's it.
Yeah. An eye test.
Registered for another 5 years as a sex offender.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh man. Yeah, they make you watch that episode of Different Strokes.
Oh my.
And they ask you, what was the saddest part of this? And if you don't get it right.
Yeah, well, they didn't get to watch the end of Fritz the Cat. That was terrible.
What was your favorite part? What was
your favorite part of this one?
Remember, you have
my favorite part was when Dudley was shirtless.
Oh no!
My favorite part was when Arnold left.
We can't get into this at every single episode. We just can't do it.
Are you sure?
Right. We gotta change the dynamic here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about Maggie and how she fell off the face of the earth, and it was probably a sad story too. Now we don't have to get into that yet.
There's plenty of Maggie to go around later.
There is.
I enjoy that we just see her and we don't have to listen to her accent here.
Right, she looks charming right now.
Yeah,
she's a peach. She's a bright spot in the movie so far.
Okay, I'm sorry to derail. You guys are going in a good direction now, but I just need to update this just for posterity.
Okay.
From Wikipedia. Pete Townsend was cautioned by British police as part of Operation Or, a major investigation on child pornography conducted in 2002-2003. Townsend was placed on the sex offenders register for 5 years in 2003 after admitting he used a credit card to access a website bearing the message click here, sorry. Bearing a message about click here for child porn, whatever. Later investigation showed that he had visited an ordinary porn site and not one containing child pornography.
Yes.
Wait, they said that their evidence against him was that he clicked on a button that said click here for child pornography?
And then paid for it with his credit card.
And then paid for it with his credit card. But later investigation showed that he had visited an ordinary porn site and not one containing child pornography. So I just like to say that on Pete Townsend's defense. And also the man was a wonderful guitarist. And is a wonderful guitarist.
Dude wrote Bob O'Reilly.
Yeah. So
Right.
I like Pete Townsend.
I do too.
And I'm allowed to keep liking him, I guess.
I would like to think that no matter what my gross perversion was, I would never click on a button on the internet that said click here for child pornography.
I would not go on any site where I could risk if even a fly landed on the mouse wrong, having a problem.
Yeah.
Don't even don't not going anywhere near it, man.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Go read a book.
I only go totally legal.
Right,
everyone's
can we steer out of
everyone's over 40.
I go to completelyaboveboard.com.
Everyone's over 40 and they need to show ID in every shot.
We're driving in a rainstorm right now and we're skidding. We need to steer out of the skid.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, Pookie.
Okay, Pookie.
Okay, Pookie.
Okay,
we gotta get back on the road here.
All right, so where were we? The movie Caddyshack.
Yes, the movie's over. The minute's over.
Yeah, the minute's over. Now that's the dangerous part is you keep going.
Yeah.
I know. I don't have to drive this goddamn thing. One of you guys could jump in and say goodnight to everybody.
No.
Tom, you're usually the one. You make it pretty awkward if you're asking somebody else to suddenly say goodnight.
Yeah. Tom's got to go log into abovetheboard.com.
Oh, yes, I do. My wife.
Whatever you do not go to abovetheboard.net. It is a completely illegal fucked up site.
Abovetheboard.tv. Cops are surrounding the place already.
My apologies to any legitimate business owner who owns that domain name, by the way.
Hey, I have one question. Is that a Budweiser sign behind that is like a carriage drawn by a number of horses? Is that like a Budweiser thing?
Yeah, I took it to be a Budweiser thing, although you can't see the print on it. Okay. It looks like their kind of advertising motif. But there's a little back when they had advertising dioramas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently, yeah. Some kid made that in grade school. Can I just say, every time I hear the word diorama, I always think of when I was in grade school. I went to for kindergarten. First grade and second grade. When I lived in Potomac, Maryland, I went to Catholic school, and I hated it. But the only cool thing in my whole school experience there was that in the art room, I guess like previous older classes had done dioramas, and this is about like 1979 or 78, and this one kid had done like a shoebox diorama of Kiss. And it looked so awesome. It had like the main thing I remember is that it had like little cotton puffs of smoke coming out of it, and like it was red at the bottom, so it was like flame coming out of the thing. And I thought it was so incredibly awesome. It was like the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And that's good night, everybody.
And then when I was a little bit older, I bought a Kiss poster at the Royal Roundup, and it was maybe 2 or 3 years after that I actually heard a Kiss song, and I realized Kiss is bullshit. Oh my God, they look like these incredible demon science fiction creatures, and like Kiss Destroyer that looks awesome. And then you're like, I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. Like, what a bunch of losers. I fucking hate Kiss. Anyway, good night, everybody. Please come back for Caddyshack minute, let's say 27 here.
Should we tell
on
him
the Caddyshack?
We've left
what he, right, yeah. He left like 20 minutes ago. I just went and got a sandwich.
How much did that cost you? With or without cheese?
Good night, everybody.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.